At Know Your Numbers Accounting, we believe in free small business education. And we really hope free small business education believes in us, too. Today we'll be talking about the cash ratio. The cash ratio, aside from being fun to say, is the third and most conservative of our liquidity ratios. That's because the cash ratio only takes into consideration the cash and marketable securities on hand when determining liquidity. This may be conservative, but after all, you can't make payroll or pay rent with accounts receivable or inventory. In an equation, that means your cash ratio equals cash plus near cash assets divided by your current liabilities. As you might suspect, this number is potentially much lower than the current or quick ratio. How many companies have cash just sitting around to cover all their expected bills for the next year? Well, some certainly do. And just like your friends who brag about eating 5 servings of vegetables every day, we'll try not to give them the stink eye. Like those of us individuals who count on the reliable cycle of paychecks to pay our bills month to month, businesses can certainly be dependent on accounts receivable. Others will prioritize having enough cash on hand to deal with emergencies. But if the cash ratio is destined to be as flattering to the average company as low-rise jeans with a crop top is flattering on the average body, what's the point of it? Well, as we said, it does tell you how much of your current obligations would be covered in a worst-case scenario. Let's say you're living in a fantasy world and you own a shop selling magical flying hamsters. In the next year, you'll have 100 gold pieces worth of obligations to cover. But right now, you only have 50 gold pieces in your dragon-proof chest. The cash ratio would give you 50 over 100, or 0.50. Turn that into a percentage, and you see that you can cover 50% of your liabilities for the next year with only the cash you have on hand. Now, say your true love is kidnapped by an evil sea monster, and you've got to put the hamster shop on hold to go on an epic quest to save them. 50% of those future expenses are covered. So maybe try to rescue your distressed lover within 6 months? Just a suggestion. The cash ratio has to be interpreted carefully, simply because it will fluctuate depending on your industry, business model, and priorities. In fact, too high of a cash ratio compared to competitors within your industry may indicate an inefficient use of cash that could otherwise be reinvested. So always get an expert to keep an eye on it and how it trends over time. To learn more about the cash ratio and determine various liquidity ratios for your own business, contact Know Your Numbers Accounting. We don't generally deal with genies, dragons, or sea monsters, but if you need speedy, accurate accounting, we're your heroes.